Tesla is currently $332, and this has potential to be $400 next month, December 2024, by year end. I'm not calling for it. I will give you one of my calls, which is NVIDIA 160, 162, NVIDIA 4 trillion. Now that is a call. I'm not calling for Tesla 400, although it's looking very likely it could be 400 next month, December. So currently we're sitting at 332, and on the daily we have absolutely ripped. I'm talking about not even 2-3 weeks ago, probably like 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah, give or take. We were at 212. From 212, we're now 332. Happened in the blink of an eye. We had a good earnings gap up, then we fell down a little bit. Trump came into the house, and it was game over from there. And then after that, we shot up to 360. From 360, we fell to 302. We actually fell to 302, but it was after hours, so it's going to mark it as 310 because that's what we felt intraday. So that was the closest we got to the 300 level dip. And then from that, we've just been consolidating here. We've been having tough resistance at this 347 level, and then we've just been going down to this 330, and we really haven't came down to 320 as much, in the last few days. We've just been consolidating here from this 360 to 330, give or take, more so in the 340s. So that's very good because Tesla is kind of cooling off on the RSI. We were overbought, but this is even more crazy. We were more overbought in July at 270 than we were in November at 360, which is absolutely crazy. That's just how fast it happened. And I actually think this one in November happened quicker. So the fact that we didn't even get as overbought as in July when we got to 270 was pretty crazy. So now we're cooling off because stock has come down a little bit, and it's been consolidating. It really hasn't crashed that hard. We've just been consolidating, and there's a few bad signals, a few good signals on Tesla. We're going to talk about them. So this, you always want to be close to neutral 50, but if we consolidate the RSI here, it could cool down. So we don't really have to tank as hard. Then the BX trender, this is showing that money is distributing out. So if you look at it, we've been coming down slowly, and now we're finally marking our first red day. Bad signal, you do not want to see that. You want to see strength buying. And the MACD has finally just crossed over. We were in this bullish momentum upwards. Now we've crossed over, but that is all on the daily. Because if you go on the weekly, we're actually still intact. So these are kind of mixed signals. So you gotta take it how you want. I'm still leaning more bullish because the bigger time frames are saying we're there. And at the end of the day, guys, these are just charts. What's really gonna push this stock is gonna be Q1 earnings. But hey, we have to wait till January for that. Late January, like 17 or January 20th. So from here to then, a lot of things could happen. But just looking from the charts, this trend is still intact in my opinion because the weekly is intact, weekly MACD is still intact, and if you go on the monthly, this is just the beginning of a crazy breakout that's happening. We've been waiting 3 years for this one, guys. So if you throw a trend line down here, we've all known we've been trying to break this for the last 3 years. You could even go here. In July, we first broke it. And when we first broke that in July, it was this. That's when I really started getting heavy on Tesla again. July, when we broke this, I already knew it was coming. Then we had this fake little month of retest, and then this was an absolute breakout. And you could even throw it like this. The confirmation of all breakouts. So give it how you take. This is a good signal to try to make our way up even higher, to the 500s and the 600s with the months later on. And if earnings are good, this is what you want to be seeing. So the monthly, good. That's always going to be the strongest. Then you go down on the weekly. If that's looking as strong, you're good. I don't think we're going to make a retest down here to 260. I don't think so. Could happen if we enter like a bear market or a correction, a crazy correction of 10-15% on SPYs. Yes, we could come and see 250s, 260s later on. It's not in the plan right now. What's in the plan right now, short term, is getting back to our highs of 360 and continuing to 370. Or we got to see if we just fill this little gap fill down to the 320s. And then if the 320s give up, maybe worst case, you got to see how they defend the 310s, 300. I really think 300 is going to get defended. I don't know if they're going to give us 300. We had 2-3 years to buy it. They'll give it to you. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of things that move this stock. Institutions, algos. So let's just see what happens. But those are short term, the levels we're looking for. You want to go back up, look at 360, 370. If you're looking down, it's not really that much, just 320, 300. Then if we start giving that up, we'll talk about the 280s, the 290s. I don't think 260s, 250s in the picture. So that's all I have on Tesla stock. And I actually have a few videos I want to show you guys, or just one video on Tesla stock. And this is Dan Ives, analyst there on Wall Street. Give it how you take, analysts or just analysts. But this is one of the predictions that I agree with the most. That's why I like this one. I do think Tesla will be going to 2,600,000,000 next year. Could go even more, but I think minimum, we're 600 next year. Let's check this clip out.
Good morning to you. Let's talk about these numbers. Up 36% in 7 trading sessions. That's $280 billion of market cap. We're talking like 5x of Volkswagen. Doing that in a week. Why?
Get the popcorn out. I mean, I believe this is just the beginning.
That's an expensive movie.
I think it's just the beginning because of the autonomous and AI piece. And I ultimately believe now, with Trump in the White House and Musk a very big seat at the table, this is the start of what I believe is autonomous is going to get fast-tracked over the next few years. And when I believe the AI autonomous piece alone is worth $1 trillion of valuation to the story.
Let me jump in. You say fast-tracked. What does that mean? Fast-tracked by who?
Well, if you look on the federal agency side, I mean, even there are some things in the state, that's really been the spider web that I believe has been holding the autonomous FSD and a key part of the valuation for Tesla, because my view is if you start to significantly increase FSD penetration and you look at Cybercab, where Street doesn't even think that's coming out till 2027, 2028, you fast track that 2 years, you look to ultimately see now the autonomous story really play out. I don't believe any autonomous valuation is factored into Tesla even today.
It's got to work though.
I agree. I think we are going to see the Tesla app self-driving in California. They're going to start deploying cybercabs end of next year. 2025, we will see it. A lot of people can't imagine that. They don't see it. If I'm wrong, I could probably just be off by what, a year or 2 years? I think we see it next year. That's it. After June, after August, later in the year, September, October, I think we see them. In Texas, maybe California, we'll have to see. I think we're going to see some already ride-hailing on your Tesla app like a Waymo. Let's see.
And they've already got a playground for it, California. Have they demonstrated it works? Are Waymo doing a better job?
Look, look, when you look at Waymo, ultimately, the scalability for Tesla is what I believe is the key. And I think when you look at this latest FSD, when you look at the latest version, and you look at what I believe what we're going to see over the next 6, 12 months, I believe autonomous, when we talk about level 4 and true autonomous, we get to the end of next year. If regulatory spiderweb disappears, which I believe now it is, I think this dramatically changes the Tesla story. And I believe we're going to be sitting here talking about Tesla 2 trillion and so on as the AI and autonomous piece play out. Because I think for Musk, this is a bet for the ages on Trump. And ultimately, now, he essentially becomes not just a big seat at the table, but someone that's going to have a huge influence, even when it comes to China tariffs and others.
Let's see how it plays out. That's why it's called the market. That's why it's called companies. Nobody knows. Let's wait and see. A lot of people think it will happen. A lot don't think it's going to happen. You could either take the under, you could take the over, you could buy the shares, you could buy options, or you could just watch from the sidelines. Let's see how it plays out. If you're bullish, I think you're going to win. So that's all I have on Tesla for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.